So we starting to the back of the tractor. It's marker, blinker, four-way emergency flashlight, and directional signal, amber in color. Properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts present tight. Is not a crack, bent, or broken. My driver's side mirror, properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts present tight. Is not a crack, bent, or broken. It's a clean, no illegal sticker aligned to the driver's side. Okay, my door open properly, stay closed properly, and I open it back. Properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts present tight. It's not a crack, bent, or broken. My hinges properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts present tight. You have to do it to the test like that, to not crack or broken, and you know it's working properly. Okay, my seal, my door seal, properly mounted and secure. There is no abrasions, bubbles, cut, or dry rot. You have to mention these A, B, C, D when it's rubber. Okay, so it's made of rubber. There's no abrasions, bubbles, cut, or dry rot. Okay, if the seal is bad, you know, and you have leak exhaust, it comes to you, and that's not work well for us. Okay, after the seal, all that, we are moving to the steps. The step properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts present tight. It's not a crack, bent, or broken. Okay, and then the fuel properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts present tight. It's not a crack, bent, or broken. The strips for the seal, you know, they're made of rubber, properly mounted and secure. No abrasions, bubbles, cut, or dry rot. They're secured to the, you know, fuel tank, and they're good. They're not rubbing each other. My fuel caps properly mounted and secure. It's not a crack, bent, or broken. The washer in good condition. There is no abrasions, bubble, cut, or dry rot. My chain properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts present tight. It's not a crack, bent, or broken, and it's a present. And it's hand tight. My sidewalks to the back and catwalk properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts present tight. Is not a crack, bent, or broken, and they're free from any debris, grease, oil, ice, water, so you don't slip, you know, all that. My exhaust system properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts present tight. It's not a crack, bent, or broken. It's secure to the frame. Okay, so there are no missing, you know, bolts or anything. It's completely secure, and no stoot trail or anything, no leaking. Okay, we're moving back to the frame. The frame is no illegal weld, properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts present tight. It's not a crack, bent, or broken. You can't drill this frame, so there is no hole inside the frame, and no illegal weld. Okay, the battery should be properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts present tight. The air tanks properly mounted and secure. All nuts and bolts present tight, and should be not leaking air. So they're good, not, you know, leaking water or anything. They're in good condition. Okay. Oh, one more thing. When you come to this area, we call it a 303. So, very important, between this and between the trailer, it should be minimum 3 feet you have space. So when you do the hard maneuver or turn, the trailer doesn't hit the, you know, the tractor. So 3 feet minimum you have space. Next, properly mounted and secure, not a crack, bent, or broken. It's made of rubber. There is no abrasions, bubbles, cut, or dry rot. They're holding air, so should be no leaking. All hoses connecting to the air brake, it should be air brake bag. It should be not leaking and work well. Okay, as we come here, we do the air brake chamber. It should be over there. Air brake chamber. Same thing as we said to the part A. properly mounted and secure, all nuts and bolts present tight, is not a crack, bent to broken, and it's not leaking. All wires connecting to the air brake chamber, it should be no leaking. Okay, the push rod slack adjuster, properly mounted and secure, all nuts and bolts present tight, is not a crack, bent to broken, and it should be no play more than 1 inch when the brake is released, you know. And we have spring hanger mount, or the spring hanger, you know, spring hanger, leaf spring hanger, properly mounted and secure, all nuts and bolts present tight, not a crack, bent to broken. The leaf spring, properly mounted and secure, not a crack, bent to broken, they're aligned to each other and no shifting. My drive shaft, all nuts and bolts present tight, is not a crack, bent to broken. So from in both ends, I'm checking my drive shaft, no broken or nothing, or not crack. Same thing we did for the driver. We have dual tires now. Okay, we have bud rim. Bud rim, it should be no space between them, 0 space. Okay, so the bud rims, it should be 0 space, no illegal weld, properly mounted and secure, all nuts and bolts present tight, is not a crack, bent to broken. Between the two tires, it should be proper space. Okay, should be proper space, free from any debris, any trash, anything. So should be nothing here between the tires. Okay, 0 space between the bud rims, no rust or anything. Okay, again, I'm checking my tires in both sides, you know, inside. TPC, you know, T is the thread. The thread, it should be 232 seconds of inch. Okay, and you can do recap these tires. It's not, you know, like the driver's side over there. Those over there, 432 seconds of inch. These ones, 232 seconds of inch. Okay, so no abrasions, the condition, no abrasions, bubbles, cut, or dry rot. They're in good condition. The hub seal, or the hub axle, properly mounted and secure, all nuts and bolts present tight, is not a crack, bent to broken, and it's not leaking. My lug nuts, properly mounted and secure, all nuts and bolts present tight, is not a crack, bent to broken, and they're no rust trail or anything. They're good condition. My rim, properly mounted and secure, is not a crack, bent to broken, no illegal weld or anything. My air valve stem, properly mounted and secure, all nuts and bolts present tight, is not a crack, bent to broken, it's carry air, so it's not leaking. Okay, after that I'm moving to my mud flap. My mud flap, properly mounted and secure, all nuts and bolts present tight, is not a crack, bent, broken. You know, it should be 100% DOT reflector tape. You know, my DOT reflector tape is good. You know, it's secure. It should be between the ground to, you know, floor to the mud flap, 2 inches to 8 inches of space. Okay, so no abrasions, bubbles, cut, or dry rot. Okay. My brake lights, those my blinker, you know, directional turn signal, and red in color, properly mounted and secure, all nuts and bolts present tight, is not a crack, bent, or broken. In between the mud flap and the landing gear, it should be 3 feet space, again, for the turning, not hitting each other. We call it 303.